It's pretty clear to me that I don't think any of us understand the decision making process that goes into what characters they choose to do re-themings of or re-releases over at Tamashii Nations for the Dragon Ball Essays Figuarts line. Never in a million years would I would have thought that somebody would have possibly have wanted an oiled up Super Saiyan 4 Goku. This is blowing my mind. Like, of all of the recolorings you could have done on characters that we've already gotten, and listen, let me preface this by saying that this is a New York Comic Con exclusive. This oiled up Ss4 is a San Diego, is a New York Comic Con exclusive. So we know for the Comic Con exclusives, they don't do new characters, they do recolorings or re-releases of old characters that we've already had. I mean, this would have been a perfect opportunity to maybe give us like a normal state Gotenks. I don't know, just a suggestion. How about a Buu Saga Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta? That would have been a solid choice. Or even, here, better yet, I'll even do you one better. How about a new Majin Vegeta? That would have been cool. But for some bizarre reason, then I feel like we still just got this Super Saiyan 4 Goku. It's only been a few years. I'm sure somebody over there was like, let's give him some folded crossed arms too to sweeten up the deal. In reality, I don't see any logical thinking Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball GT fan that's going to want this glossed over version of this character over the original. It just makes no sense at all. Even if we look at it from like a logical standpoint in Dragon Ball sense, so we all know these characters power up and they have some sort of a glow around them when they're powering up. I'm assuming this is what the look that they were going for. Even if you take that into consideration, not one part of Dragon Ball GT, the Super Saiyan 4 Goku looked like this gloss over version when he was powering up into this state. Not one time. Maybe the only time he like had a specific glow around him like that, maybe in the Kaioken style, but never in Super Saiyan 4, bro. I mean, it just looks dumb. This just looks dumb. There's no justification for this at all. I mean, it just looks bad. Just bad. That's all it is to it. I honestly and truly do not understand who this was made for or what this was made for. And quite frankly, in the decision making process, whoever came to this conclusion that they thought that some fan would want this needs to be fired. Point blank, period. Dude, there's no justification for this. Out of all of the plethora of the entire pantheon of Dragon Ball characters that they have at their disposal that they can choose from, and this is what they went with. It's just blowing my mind. You could have even given us a battle damage to Super Saiyan 4 Goku instead of this. I mean, it's just terrible. This is one of the worst releases out of this 10-year plus history of this entire line. This is easily one of the worst releases I have ever seen. This is bad, dude. It's just blowing. I just don't get it. There's nothing positive to say about this at all whatsoever. Like I said, even if you didn't already have an Ss4 Goku in your collection, this is definitely not the release that's going to spur a fan to go out and grab one. Why would you just not go and get the original? Especially trying to get to a Comic-Con, specifically in New York, and stand in line for hours to get this. Who's doing this? Post it in the comment section below. I'm so curious. Who's waiting for this? The only reason you're going to wait for this is just so you can try and resell it. Just to try to get the completionist of the line. This is all this is for. But any fan of the actual franchise, dude, there's no way. Like, did you watch the show? I don't even think you watched the show. If you want this one, it's so stupid. I just don't get it. All right, I'm done talking about this. It's so dumb, man. Well, while I got you here, I might as well cover this as well. So the other day, Toyotaru released an alternate version of the Dragon Ball Super manga cover 19. So they put up a poll and people wanted to see, like, I guess, like depictions of the Saiyan families across the generations of Dragon Ball. So they had a picture of Goku's family with like Goku, Chi-Chi, Goten, and Gohan. And then they had a silhouette on the bottom of it with Bardock, Gine, and Raditz and Goku. And then they had a silhouette of Gohan's family with Gohan, Videl, and Pan. And then they did Vegeta's family with, Vegeta, Bulma, uh, Bulla, and Trunks. And then under the silhouette of that, they had Vegeta as a child. They had Tarbo, Vegeta's brother. If you don't know who that is, his brother made an appearance in a special Dragon Ball movie where Goten and Trunks fought some long-lost henchmen of Frieza. It was pretty cool. Give it a watch if you haven't seen it already. But the coolest part is that for the first time ever, Toyotaru drew a depiction of what it looked to be Vegeta's mom. So that's pretty cool, man. This is the first time ever in Dragon Ball's 40-year history that we have some kind of an idea of what Vegeta's mom would possibly look like. So pretty cool. So yeah, got a cape, purple pants, like a white little sash with the Saiyan emblem on, Saiyan armor. Looks awesome. Now, if you know your Dragon Ball history, you would know that we didn't know what Goku's mom, Gine, looked like until 2013 when Toriyama released the Dragon Ball Minus manga chapter. So that's where we really got an introduction to her when she worked in the meat factory and a true kind of scope of what her and Bardock's relationship was actually like. They were actually a married couple and, parented the children Kakarot and Raditz and sent Kakarot to Earth to save him because, Bardock got the premonition that Frieza was going to destroy the planet. So I'll be very curious to see if Vegeta's mother had that same characteristics that was like just caring for her children in general. Maybe she had the inkling to send Vegeta and Tarbo away before Frieza destroyed the planet, or was she more headstrong like the normal Saiyan warrior, or does she have the more caring, gentle nature that Gine showcased in the manga chapter? Hopefully, this is maybe a premonition that we might get that manga chapter showcasing her and how she raised her children before her eventual demise at the hands of Frieza. So it'd be very cool to see. One more little treat. This image here is not an official image by Toyotaru. This is an AI created image of what the completed picture could possibly look like. The face card right there, as we know from the official imagery, is King Vegeta's cape is covering up the face. But, if I had to take an educated guess, this is pretty darn close to what a full body scope of image of what Vegeta's mom could looks like. Kind of looks like Broly, if I'm being completely honest. So it's already some theories trying to go out that asking if is it possible that Broly and Vegeta could be half brothers. I highly doubt that. It seems like Saiyans are probably the type of species when they choose their mate, they're probably mated for life, if I had to take an educated guess. But, it's always fun to throw some fan theories out there, though. So why not? So that's really all I got for y'all today, man. I had to talk about that ridiculous Ss4 Goku. That was the main scope of the video. Then I wanted to talk about Vegeta's mom as well. So you appreciate the effort, to hit that like button. I really appreciate that. We cover all things Dragon Ball here, from the action figures to the manga, to the anime, to the movies. So if you're interested in that type of content, get subscribed. You can follow me at youtube.com/markjack79. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. As always, my friends, thank you guys for the years of support. I'll see y'all on the next one. Catch y'all later. Bye.